Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the online training, Mental Training in Sports. My name is Tiago Guadalupe. I'm from the municipality of Loé. In this online training, we will take five minutes break every hour of training. This event takes place within the framework of the European project Healthy Cities. And to open this initiative, I invite the lead expert of this project, my friend Sebastian. Thanks a lot for everything, and it's your time.
Buonanotte. Hello, everyone. I'm Sebastian. I'm a lead expert for Healthy Cities, which is a European network promoting healthy cities. And one of our proud and strongest members is the city of Lolé in the Algarve in Portugal, which is actually a former EU capital of sports. So thank you for having us. One thing, I'm really happy you do this course. The point I want to make is 75% of your health depends on your environment and on your lifestyle. Well, of course, sport is a great part of lifestyle, a great lifestyle. So we strongly endorse this course. And I understand this training is about mental training. Well, that's particularly important. I think the mental part of sport is key for performance. But what I consider more important from my position is that sport is also very good for your mental health. So if you do sport, it's also good for your mental health. And personally, it's also a great moment now with the pandemic of COVID-19, mentally actually to get out there and do sports. It's actually even more important now, I would say, than ever before to be mentally strong to do sports. So, personal note, I personally live in Spain, and I was preparing for the marathon of Barcelona, which was cancelled 1 week before the marathon took place. So I was one of these crazy people running on their rooftops, which required a lot of mental strength to actually go to the rooftop and do it and keep on doing it. So I never completed the marathon. So I would actually join part of this session. Maybe I get mentally stronger as well. So thank you, Tiago, for inviting me. Compliments to Lolé, great city, and enjoy your training. I will do so as well. Thank you very much. Obrigado.
Thanks, Sebastian, for everything. I know that you, at this moment, you are in the Netherlands. Thanks for everything. Now I will invite Dave and Christina. And Dave and Christina. Dave and Christina?
Yes.
Yes. We don't see you. Dave?
Yes.
Christina?
Hello, Tiago?
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Tiago, I think Christina has not been allowed in. I see that I'm in the show.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not. I'm assisting Christina right now, but Christina doesn't seem to be in the show right now. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you have Christina have the link that I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's only click the link and directly.
Okay. You have to click the link, and then you're directly admitted.
I did click.
She says the link is not getting her to the spot.
It's impossible, Dave, because it's the same link. It's the same link that I have.
I use the same link as well, so I don't know what's going on. Christina, what do you suggest? Or Tiago, what do you suggest? This is a technical difficulty.
It's possible, Christina, do the online training in your computer, maybe?
Yeah, I would have to give it my phone. Yes, sure. That's
No,
fine.
because I need the computer.
Oh, you
because
need
I
the
have my
computer.
slides, yeah.
Okay, then try the link again. She's going to try one more time to
Okay.
access the link.
Do you need to disconnect? Or?
Maybe I have to disconnect. Is
Okay.
That, I'll disconnect. Should let you in.
All right. Now it seems like it's working.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I see you, Christina.
Okay, very good. Very good. So, thank you for your patience with these technical difficulties. First of all, I would like to thank Tiago and also Felipe Eja for inviting me to be here today. Me, Cristina Rollo, and Dave Dehan are very honored and thankful for this opportunity to share our knowledge and experience with the audience. And Sebastian, thank you very much also for your interest in this area of mental training. And we are available to assist you with your training whenever you feel the need as well. So I'm going to share a screen so you can see the slides. One moment. So almost there. Bear with me. One moment. Okay. Tiago, can you see my screen, my slides? Tiago?
No.
No? Okay. I'm clicking share screen on the bottom of the platform. So, Tiago, can you assist me? I'm clicking on the share screen on the platform.
No, I only see you. Maybe Philippe can help. Give me one second because I will go to.
Can you hear me, Tiago? Hello? Tiago, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, Christina. I already speak with Philippe. Philippe, we will help us.
Okay, I appreciate that. In the meantime, perhaps I can introduce myself and Dave.
Okay.
I was expecting Tiago or Felipe to introduce us, so I'd like a summary, but I can just read and keep it short. Christina and Dave, me and Dave, we are internationally recognized experts in performance enhancement psychology and specialists in mental coaching applied to elite and professional teams. We have been pioneers in our field in several projects developed in Europe and also in the United States. We have extensive knowledge and experience gained throughout the many years, over 20 years, working together, implementing performance enhancement psychology to foster success and well-being for diverse, prestigious institutions, companies, and top-level institutions, top-level individuals around the world. Together, we have developed educational resources, coached and conducted certified mental training workshops for elite players, coaches, parents, and sports psychologists in Portugal, the Netherlands, Romania, and the United States. Our services are requested to improve performance and well-being in other sport arenas like equestrian, figure skating, gymnastics, golf, judo, soccer, volleyball, surf, bodyboard, as well as in other domains such as health, performing arts, education, as well as in business. Dave DeHaan and Christina Rollo, myself, have been pioneers educating, implementing, and developing and promoting our field of expertise. The innovation and excellence of our pioneer projects have been recognized internationally, and we both have been recipients of several awards in different countries. In terms of academic and professional experience, I am a certified mental consultant by the Association for Applied Sports Psychology. I'm an international expert and pioneer in mental coaching applied to elite tennis in Europe and US. I have been over 20 years experience in performance enhancement psychology consulting in sports, academic, health, and business. I got a doctoral degree in exercise and sports psychology, graduated summa cum laude at UNCG, the University of North Carolina at Greensboro in the US. My master's was in exercise and sports psychology at the Technical University of Lisbon, and as well as my licensure in sports sciences. I'm associate faculty for the Center for Creative Leadership to provide executive coaching to Fortune 100 and 500 companies. I've been a speaker for diverse sports psychology conferences, ASP, ISSP, and ISFEPSAC around the world. And I have collaborated with renowned international governing bodies, elite athletes, and institutions such as National Football League, United States Tennis Association, United States Water Polo, United States Olympic Committee, Mexican Olympic Committee, Portuguese Judo Federation, Portuguese Tennis Federation, and the Academy Victor Anesco in Romania. Also ATP World Tour, top players and coaching, as well as Olympians. Dave DeHaan is academic and professional experience. Dave DeHaan is an expert and pioneer in mental training applied to elite tennis in Europe and US. Over 15 years of experience in performance enhancement psychology consulting in sports, academics, health, and business. He has coached Victor Anesco, top ATP tennis player, ranked 26 in the world, now retired, and has an academy in Bucharest, which we assisted in his transition from athlete to coach and director of the academy. Dave is a former basketball player. He played in the Dutch national team, and then he won a scholarship to play and study at the Division I University in Asheville, North Carolina, Asheville, where he got his degree in psychology. He is specialist in fear and aggression. He is also former director of sales and manufacturing supplier industry in coding machines in the Benelux. Dave and I have been authors of several books and articles in performance enhancement applied to sports and education and parenting. So I would like to now ask if Felipe can help us be...
Cristina, vou-te falar em português mais fácil. Eu já falei com o Felipe, ele disse que tens que ser tu a fazer. Tu tens aí no share screen, tens aí depois 3 opções. Tu tens que ter o PowerPoint aberto, não minimizado, tens de ter aberto, e depois aí escolhes uma dessas opções e fazes a partilha do ecrã.
Ok, o PowerPoint está aberto, mas quando abro o PowerPoint não tenho a imagem do screen para carregar na terceira opção. Como é que podemos solucionar?
Olha, eu vou-te dizer que se calhar o mais fácil é tu dares só um toque ao Felipe, que ele explica-te como é que fazes isso. Está bem? Se calhar é mais fácil do que estarmos assim.
Ok, mas podes ser tu a ligar, por favor?
Não, senão eu vou estar a transmitir, se calhar é mais fácil, porque eu não consigo aceder aqui, percebes? Se fores tu, é bem mais fácil.
Ok, eu vou então tentar. Entretanto, vou pedir à nossa audiência para escrever no chat, por favor, qual o país em questão e também... É melhor falar em inglês. I would like to ask our audience to please write the country where they are at the moment, and also if they are athletes, coaches, sports psychologists, parents, so I understand who is on the other side. Okay, I'm calling Philippe.
So the share screen is not working?
No. Já? Conseguem ver? Ok, pronto, obrigada, Filipe. Até já. Ok. Obrigada pelo vosso apoio e pela vossa paciência.
English.
Thank you for your patience and
Technical difficulties.
Dave and I are usually do these workshops in person, so we are
platforms.
and in different platforms. It's our first time with Philippe and Tiago with this new platform. So thank you for your patience and understanding. We are now going to proceed. First of all, I would like to welcome all the participants and organizers and sponsors. According to the information I received, we have participants from the Netherlands, Malta, Spain, Portugal, and if there's any that I didn't mention, I would like you to write on the chat, and perhaps Tiago can mention the extra countries that are represented here. Can you hear me, Tiago? Hello? Tiago, can you hear me? Hello? Can you give me confirmation?
Yes, Christina. Yes, I'm listening.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Are there any other countries represented that I didn't mention?
Christina, you see here you have Marco Lajinha from Portugal. Inês Amado is a coach. You have here persons of Greece, Portugal, Italy.
Thank you.
I tell you before, not new coach. Okay.
Thank you very much. The reason is I need your assistance is because I don't have the chat as I show the slides. So thank you, Tiago. We are going to proceed. So we have athletes and coaches and sports administrators, some sports psychologists, and even parents in the audience. With this in mind, we would like to present today about role mental coaching background and philosophy, make clear the difference between clinical psychology and performance psychology, address some mental training myths, also emphasize some factors that prevent the systematic mental training, and also reinforce the importance of mental training. Tomorrow, Sunday, we are going to address the following: how mental training can be developed, foundations of high-level performance, knowledge and strategies to develop mental toughness, work with some instruments to access and assess and monitor mental skills development, and go through some performance enhancement strategies. So as I mentioned before, I'm a certified mental performance coach. It took me 12 years to be able to get this certification. I'm from Portugal. I'm a former athlete and coach in diverse sports, and my education was both in the US and Portugal. Dave, sports psychologist, high performance coach from the Netherlands. And what we would like to share with you is our philosophical orientation and methodologies are based in our different backgrounds. Me from sports sciences, Dave from psychology. We based our interventions in science-based knowledge, and we make it simple and practice for people to be able to apply. We focus on performance excellence and quality of life, and we usually have an holistic approach in which we develop self-awareness and work towards autonomy. We work on and off court before the pandemic, And we use mainly cognitive behavioral interventions, which means by being aware of our thoughts and being able to manage them, we have impact on our behaviors. We also focus on positive psychology, and we do personalized and systematic mental skills training according to the needs of the clients we are working with. We use an educational and developmental approach, contrary of clinical, which I'm going to clarify in a couple of minutes. We often use experiential activities, metaphors, and narratives because we believe that's more efficient and fun to learn this way. So as you may see, Dave and I, we are very different in many domains. He was a professional player in one sport, I did many, and he's tall, I'm not. He's a male, I'm a female. There's many differences. The country of origin, Dave is from the Netherlands, I'm from Portugal. We have totally different personalities, physical characteristics, expertise, education and training. Me from sports sciences, Dave from psychology. Even our communication style is different. Dave is more direct. Our intervention approaches are slightly different as well, and our cultural background. But within all these differences, there are also many similarities. We are both pioneers, multilingual, we have holistic approach, and within many others, we have also cultural intelligence that we gathered from traveling around the world, working with many different countries. What we value, integrate, and promote in our work. As I mentioned before, holistic approach. We treat our clients not just as athletes or coaches, but as human beings, first of all. And now with the pandemic, it's even more important to focus on the whole person, whole individual, not just the athlete, because there are needs that need to be met. We value a systematic application of mental training. We work on and off the field. We are committed to our continuous development. We value mutual respect, commitment, honesty, open mind and open communication between us and our clients. We always work towards autonomy. We like sharing knowledge and strategies and make sure that the coaches, the athletes, the parents can apply those strategies on their own in the future. At the beginning, they may need some assistance, but the goal is that they can autonomously apply them. Interdependence, ask for assistance whenever necessary, our clients and even ourselves, and we base our work in confidentiality. Now I would like to make a distinction that is not always clear in our field and can be very beneficial. So the psychology, we have two branches. We have the clinical and the educational. Although Dave is a clinical psychologist, he chose as a former athlete to specialize in performance enhancement psychology. So sometimes we have athletes, top athletes that have challenges within the clinical, can be eating disorders, can be sleeping disorders. And what we do is we refer to a clinical psychologist. It happened in the past, one of the top tennis players in Portugal, the first one to admit in the media that he was working with a clinical psychologist. In the same article in the Record newspaper, he presented the team, nutritionist, technical, tactical coach, and clinical psychologist and performance psychologist. And this shows that it's possible to have collaboration between these two branches. So an athlete can be dealing with clinical issues and at the same time doing educational performance psychology. Within the educational psychology, there's also two distinctions we would like to make. One of them is problem-focused and one is preventative. In the problem focused is usually coaches say, hey, you have to work with my athlete because he keeps having aggressive behavior, or in crucial moments of performance, he just blocks. And we call this the firefighter approach. So when something is wrong, we are called. But we prefer the preventative approach, which is like before the fire season, we go to the forest and we cut the extra branches and make things less likely to have a fire. So in the preventative educational psychology, what we do is the development of mental skills to enhance performance and well-being. So work on mental toughness. I would like now assistance from Tiago to put the first video, which is going to illustrate the part of the clinical. And afterwards, we are going to talk
He's
about
good, man. He's so good. He is so good.
If you're not keeping notes, don't worry, because Brandon Marshall is.
Oh, he's gigantic. I mean, anytime there's a receiver that's bigger than a linebacker, you know, you start second guessing if you're playing the right position.
He's just a beast. He's been, I would say, my favorite receiver. When he catches the ball, he's not looking to get down. He's not looking to step out of bounds. He's always fighting for extra yards.
He's better after the catch. He's great with the catch, but once he has the ball in his hand, he's even better.
Just sensational individual effort.
When Brandon Marshall is not lowering his shoulder, he's elevating. Fitting that this Lord of Liftoff is now a jet.
Pass is caught. Touchdown! Brandon Marshall with the grab.
Hands.
There's a tight spiral down the right seam. One-handed, deadly grab. Brandon Marshall.
B. Marshall can make any catch however you want him to make it.
Bouncing and throwing on the comeback near side. Catch is made. Brandon Marshall inside the 15-yard line.
He just makes catches and make you go like that's going to be on top 10. Hopefully they're not against you.
Leaping grab! Brandon Marshall touchdown!
I remember watching a game on Monday night, and they were playing the Niners. He made that one-handed catch out of nowhere.
Looking to the end zone, throws it behind Marshall. He pulls it in for the touchdown! A one-hander with his right hand.
I feel like if you throw the ball anywhere near him, he'll catch it.
Wow. That's just wow. Brandon Marshall with the grab. And that was a beauty.
Man, what a play.
Brandon Marshall's a stud.
Thank you, Tiago. I would like you to make some comments in the chat. What do you believe this video is all about? Tiago, could you share a couple insights from the audience, from the chat, please?
Cristina, at this moment, we don't have any answer.
Okay. So I will address. We showed in this video an excellent player and excellent performance, which people would not be aware that there were some clinical issues. So this excellent athlete actually was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and although he had excellent performance in his personal life and interpersonal relationships, he was struggling. So he got assistance and went through a program and got help, and that really made a difference in his life. He was a keynote speaker in the ASP conference a couple of weeks ago, and he is now not just an advocate for clinical psychology, but also educational psychology. And I wanted to give this example for coaches to be aware that even athletes that perform well may have challenges in other domains of their life. And this is one of the reasons it's important to have an holistic approach and focus on the person, not just the athlete. Because it's not just performance, it's also about well-being and health.
Especially in these times.
Like they've said, especially during these times of pandemic. So I would like to ask the audience, have you ever experienced lack of motivation to practice, compete, or study? Feel sad after losing a game that you felt that you could have won? Or if you are a coach, see this in your athletes. Have you ever choked at a critical point in competition or felt depressed because not recovering fast enough from an injury? Have you ever experienced a mind wandering off during competition or in class or in a business meeting? Become angry or frustrated with the performance and have transferred for other domains of your life, like family or even work? If so, you can benefit from mental training. And especially in sports, but in other domains as well, what happens usually is that, for instance, in one of the videos, Brandon Marshall explained that people value performance, mental performance. They say it's 80% of the game, it's mental. But although they value and say that 80% of the game is mental, they practice, most of it is technical, tactical, and physical. So he was advocating to have more systematic mental training. What happens is, when you see this chair, most of the times in training, you consider technical, tactical, and physical aspects of the game, but mental is a little bit to the side. And what happens is, in high performance and high pressure situations, this chair is not stable, and often athletes cannot achieve the success that they could. So what we advocate is that we work systematically on mental training to give a better foundation and support so athletes can, especially in high pressure situations and critical moments in competition, they can perform at their best. So in the past, all these areas were separated: technical, physical, tactical, and mental. Then they little by little got integrated. Now it's unthinkable to have athletes that don't do physical training. So it's important to have physical, technical, tactical, but also mental. And that's what we see nowadays more and more. And we also contribute to this integration. So people have enough knowledge and experience to feel comfortable integrating systematic mental training in their practices. In this integrated approach, there's many factors other than these four I mentioned, but it can also be nutrition, sleep, relationships, sponsors. Everything contributes to the performance excellence. We would like to now ask Tiago and Filipe to please include a video that is going to show an integrated approach.
You can say the result of transporting pro career to?
They is suggesting to explain that after working 6 years as mental coaches of Victor Anesco, top tennis player at the ATP Tour, we assisted in the career transition from athlete to coach and director of the academy in Bucharest, Tennis Academy, and also we assisted in the creation of the award-winning programs Train Like a Pro, in which they gathered the top coaches in physical, technical, tactical, and mental. And for 10 days, we did intensive training with the most promising young athletes in Romania. And what happened was we did on-court, off-court, integrated work. Tiago, are we ready to see the video?
It's playing. I see it playing, but
Okay.
without sound. There's no sound. It shows that actually the psychology is also on court, but we also did sessions off court.
Mm-hmm.
This program won an award in Romania, a TV award.
Can you tell me when it's
You
finished?
cannot see this?
No.
Okay. Okay, still going on? And please remember that in Romania there was no mental training available. They had no knowledge of mental training, especially on the court, which was a pioneering event. There we go, Christina. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So in this video, you saw specialists in each domain, technical, tactical, physical, mental, and nutritionist, all coming together and working together to be able to improve performance and also well-being. In the pictures here, you see Firicel Tomai, former coach of Simona Halep, one of the top women tennis players. And although we didn't speak the same language, he speaks Romanian. I spoke at the time in that country, I spoke English. We were able to understand each other because of the common language, tennis. And
respecting each other's professionalism.
Exactly. So it would be, I'd like to share an interesting story. In this camp, the kids have the youth athletes and the coaches from different regions in the country, in Romania. And for these 10 days, they were with these top professionals in each area. One of them, Tomai Firicel, and being a top coach and former coach of Simona Halep, the youth, when they would go to and Victor Anesco, one of the best players ever in Romania, the kids would go to the court for the training and would be a little bit anxious under pressure because they were with two great coaches on court. And to add to this pressure, the coaches, Victor Anesco and Firicel Tomai, were making some changes in their technique. So, for instance, the grip for the serve or the forehand, they were saying to make adjustments. So what happened was, at the beginning, I was just observing, when the kids were making the changes, they were making more mistakes. As they were making more mistakes, they were getting frustrated And the negative cycle made it so that more mistakes and more frustration. So in the first picture on the left, you see a kid completely frustrated that threw his racket and said he could not do it anymore. And after we communicated, I asked permission to give some strategies to the youth player. And immediately the coach saw that the kid was able to cope better with the changes in technique. And little by little, he was able to make the adjustments and be able to get the strokes in, be successful, and went into a positive spiral. So it was beneficial for the tennis player, and the coach also manifested that made his task easier. So this is an example that little details and intervention on court can make a difference, not just for the athlete, but also for the coach. Working together, integrated work. Are you still okay, or do you need a break? Tiago, can you ask, please, the participants to give their feedback on the chat if they are still okay to continue, or if they need a quick...
Christina, we speak before. I think it's better. We have a break, 5 minutes every hour. I think it's better. Okay?
5 minutes every hour? Okay.
You need...
talking to you like this.
So in 15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So I would like to share with you that in 2007, we did the elite coaching clinic at the Portuguese Tennis Federation. And at the time, we took the coaches from the room to the tennis court, and we did the on-court training. The coaches experienced firsthand the benefits of doing mental training and saw and felt immediate results. So at the end of the coaching clinic, they asked us if we could create a resource with exercises and knowledge for athletes, coaches, and even parents to be able to apply mental training in a systematic way. So we created 2 years later, according to the needs of the Portuguese tennis community. We published a book called Mental Training in Tennis, which includes several areas such as mental training, confidence, motivation, concentration, positive self-talk. And what happened was, when we applied these knowledge and exercises, the book has 33 on-court and off-court exercises. When we applied in Portugal, Brazil, Spain, the Netherlands, US, we were asked if we could translate the book to English, so they could also apply and read. What happened was, for many years during our frequent travel with the ATP Tour players, we didn't have a chance to translate. But due to the pandemic, we were able to finish. So this year we published in July the Mental Training in Tennis, Applied Strategies for... And what helps develop mental toughness and promote success, also well-being. It increases motivation, helps to be more positive, concentrated, confident, and also goals in a more efficient way. Although the language and the examples are from tennis, the books such as health, business, and other sports, even arts. Soon we will be also... This book is a pioneer project, resulted in several countries like the US, the Netherlands, Portugal. As an easy language, even 9-10-year-olds have been also able to read and apply it. It includes several analogies, images, and it contributes to the integration of mental training in several sports.
Off-court and on-court.
Off-court and on-court. One of, you have been probably, we have heard about Michael Russell. He's a former tennis player. He says the following about the book. Mental training in tennis should be in every player's and coach's racket bag. After playing professionally for 17 years and now coaching for 5, I can say it is one of the best books I have read for teaching mental resilience, with a step-by-step approach of different exercises and tools to create the mind of a champion. Highly recommended for all tennis players, no matter what their level. This book is a game changer. As I mentioned, soon we'll have available also for basketball. And now, before our break, I would like to share with you some mental training myths. Many people still believe that mental training is just for athletes with problems. And as I mentioned before, there's mental training for clinical purpose, for problems, but also there's mental training for educational performance purposes. Some people also believe that it's just for elite athletes, but it's not real. Everybody can benefit from mental training. Amateurs, special needs athletes, and people in general. Some people also believe that provides immediate solutions. It's like magic. It's not true. Like physical, technical, and tactical training require practice to be developed, mental training also needs practice and repetition and systematic application to get desired results. And finally, some people also believe that is not useful, and it's also a myth. It is very useful. But if they believe that is not useful, for them it's probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, let me check time. We still have some minutes. Reasons for neglecting mental training. When we talk with the coaches at the elite coaching clinic in Lisbon, Portugal, or in the elite coaching clinic in Boca Raton, US, we asked them what were the reasons they neglected mental training application, systematic application. And they said, many of them said, they didn't have enough knowledge, they didn't have enough experience to give them confidence to actually do it. Since then until now, there's more and more information available online, articles, books, podcasts, and the difficulty sometimes now is there's so much information that sometimes difficult to select what's quality information, what is adapted to the person needs. And with that, or for that, it's in an initial phase, it's important to have a mental coach or somebody that can assist you see or select what's more according to your needs and preferences. In terms of...
Maybe you can mention here that right now, due to the COVID, we are extending for free 30-minute online intake for anybody that wants to sign up through our website.
Dave is explaining that due to COVID, Rural Mental Coaching is offering free consult to support athletes, coaches, parents that may need assistance in this area. So take advantage of this free
Just contact
offer.
us through the website.
You can contact us through the website, Dave's suggestion and offer. So in terms of reasons for neglecting mental training, some individuals believe that mental skills are innate and not modifiable. And it's not true. They can be changed and developed with training. Again, some coaches and athletes don't have knowledge or experience yet in this area, but nowadays it's easy with a variety of resources and professionals that can support you. One big one is the perception of lack of time. Many coaches and athletes say, oh, I don't have time already to do the technical, tactical, and physical. How am I going to still find time to do the mental. And this argument was because in the past, and still a little bit currently, some sports psychologists had the methodology to invite the athletes or coaches to their office, and that would require extra time. The methodology of role mental coaching, Dave and I, we usually go to the court, to the office, business office, and we do integrated work, which means during the technical, tactical, or physical training, we are doing also the mental, which does not require extra time. So we suggest that whenever possible, this integration takes place. Another big argument is the lack of funds. We see sometimes athletes and coaches saying they don't have funds to fund the mental training, but then we say, if it is important, you'll find a way. It's sometimes also a question of priorities.
Allocating funds.
Allocating funds. And making choices instead of a new iPhone or watch or some other items. You can make choices or find sponsors. There's always a way when there's a will.
Not having to break rackets because of frustration also.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to spend money on new rackets.
Yes. Now we are going to transition a little bit to the factors that influence performance. And some of these are lack of confidence, lack of concentration, lack of motivation, poor pre-competition preparation or routines, anxiety, lack of activation, negative expectations. And it's interesting, if you pay attention to the media, when athletes are interviewed about their success or lack of it, often the attribution is to factors under the mental area. Some of them here in this slide. And like Marshall mentioned, more and more we need to focus, allocate more time to mental training due to its importance. Now, many things change because of the pandemic, COVID. And we have been adapting like everybody else. As we mentioned, our methodology was mainly on site. We would work with athletes, coaches, parents on court. And nowadays we have to transition to more like online. And because of that, it's even more important to have the holistic focus. Here we have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid, and we recommend coaches and athletes to make sure they pay attention to all these levels. So first of all, important to meet physiological needs, also safety needs. Many people are now losing their jobs, not having resources or salary, and coaches and sports psychologists need to be aware of these aspects to be able to support or find resources that can support these athletes in these areas. Also, love and belonging. People feel isolated, so we need to create strategies to make them relate, connect, and not feel isolated. Next, in terms of self-esteem, recognition, usually athletes have athlete identity, and now with COVID not competing, they may lose the sense of self, and we need to also invest in this area. And last, self-actualization. Every person wants to be the best they can be, and if they are not able to perform and do what they do best, it may also put this in jeopardy. So as coaches, as mental coaches, let's help athletes, parents, and coaches in all these areas. So far, are there any questions that you'd like me to? What we suggest so we can progress is you can forward the questions that you may have using contact us at rollmentalcoaching.com or send through email at info@rollmentalcoaching.com. We promise to answer all of them. And also for tomorrow, should you have questions today, we'll try to answer them until tomorrow. I believe, according to Tiago's directions, we should make a break around 8:30.
10 more minutes.
It's 4 minutes away from the 8:30, but I think we could take a 5-minute break now because we are entering a different area.
That's it, Cristina. That's it. We can do now a break of 5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Tiago. Thank you, all participants. Enjoy and relax. Okay.
Hello, Cristina, again.
Hello, Tiago. We are all back after the break. I hope you were able to relax. We are having some challenges with platform. I see my slides full screen, and I was told by Philippe that something with the Mac is making it so that you don't see the full slide. But I hope you are able to see enough. Are you able to see, Tiago?
Yes, Cristina, yes.
Okay, very good. So we will continue. This part, we have 1 hour more to talk about some aspects to prepare the work we will do tomorrow. Tomorrow we want to do something more applied and according to the needs of the audience. And therefore, we would like to ask you to, after this workshop, to send an email to info@rollmentalcoaching.com and share with us what are the challenges that you are currently facing regarding your sport or life in general because of the pandemic. And what we are going to do is tomorrow, according to the interests and needs that you manifest in your emails, we are going to organize our presentation to address those topics and those needs. Initially, we had planned to create small groups and work in 5 to 6 groups of 5 or 6 with case studies and applying several strategies. But for this time and in this platform, we were informed that it would be better to reach a wider audience to do it in a different format. So we will address your needs, but without the small groups. So I would like to continue the presentation now. In terms of mental skills training, what is it? It's the systematic practice of psychological skills to improve performance and well-being. And what we usually do is we observe before we intervene and we collect information. That's the advantage of being on site. It doesn't matter if it is on the soccer field, on the basketball court, tennis court. We usually collect information. And what is the advantage? The advantage is if the athletes go to an office of a sports psychologist or clinical psychologist, the professional has to rely on the information received from the athlete or the coach. And sometimes they are not aware of certain aspects that are being detrimental to their performance. So the important aspect, added aspect of being on site and observing is that we can bring in information that increase the awareness of behaviors that are hindering performance. And awareness is the first step to be able to change beliefs, thoughts, and behaviors. Therefore, tomorrow we are going to invite you to make an assessment. We will provide you some instruments which will give you some awareness of where you are currently, what are strengths and behaviors that contribute to your success and well-being, and which behaviors, thoughts, and beliefs are being detrimental. And based on that, and according to the needs, we are going to establish priorities because it's not possible to work everything at the same time. We are going to define 1 to 3 priorities and start with those. And the interesting thing is, in the mental training, the areas are all connected. So when we work in one of the areas, usually there is transfer and influence in the other areas as well. If you look at this picture, you have a performance profile in which you can see several areas of our mental skills, such as confidence, concentration, motivation, routines. And when you work on, for instance, your positive self-dialogue, and when you work on imagery, the result often is you increase your confidence. So some of these you may not be working directly, but by working different areas, you may have impact on the other areas as well. That's what the meaning of the connection of all the areas in the center of the circle. Tomorrow we are going to also explain, but I will give you already some information. We will do this performance profile at the beginning, and using some colors gives a visual image, and this circle is based on the perceptions of the athlete and sometimes also the coach and even the parents, so we have different perspectives.
Because we work in a virtual area, this is a best way to show that you're making progress.
Yes, because mental training and the improvements are not visible, readily, directly visible, it's good to use instruments like the performance profile to give a sense of improvement, and so athletes and coaches can see the improvement materialized in the profile. So going back to the challenges, what are the challenges that you may experience? We mentioned before, can be within motivation or choking in critical points of competition, or not performing well and having impact in other areas of the life.
We hear a lot in online right now as people have challenges with goal setting, sense of purpose,
yes,
all due to the COVID crisis.
So what is happening right now is that athletes and coaches often need assistance to reformulate their goals since they cannot compete or cannot perform the way they used to, and to stay motivated to continue doing their physical training and nutrition and enough rest. All these aspects can be well taken care of with assistance of coaches and sports psychologists providing support. Other areas that can be of help for athletes, coaches, etc., are illustrated in this slide. So not just mental preparation and performance planning, but also stress management, emotion management, develop interpersonal skills, because sometimes we have awesome athletes that perform fantastic on the top of their sports. And in terms of interpersonal skills, they lack development. So we can assist not just in performance enhancement, but also life skills. We can help also in terms of group dynamics and support the athletic staff in many domains. We work also with the medical teams. So the most important nowadays is to have multidisciplinary teams with experts in each area that work together having a common goal. And in our experience, that has been the best approach so far. And again, we can help in coach-athlete communication, improve team cohesion, improve like the recovery from injuries, make it faster, and help the athletes have confidence for when they go back to competition. In terms of areas of intervention, awareness is one of the most important ones, as I mentioned before. Helping athletes be resilient and commit to their daily routines. Be aware of the good routines and help them change the ones that can be improved. We tomorrow are going to also talk about strategic planning and the 4 Power W, which...
We're not seeing those slides, by the way, huh? I'm seeing only this slide.
Okay. I have been informed by David Hahn that you are not...
that you're moving slides, but...
You are not having access to the slides for some...
This is not in our control, but okay.
Okay.
Do what you can.
So I apologize for the technical difficulties that are preventing you from seeing the slide that I am at, but we will do what we can, what is under our control, and bear with me, and we will do what is possible. So as I was saying, tomorrow we will also talk a little bit more in detail about the 4 Power Ws, which will focus on establishing a goal and having the wish, the want, the will, and the ways to achieve all that we desire. And for that, we are going to anticipate some obstacles and find strategies to overcome them. So this is going to be one of the activities that you can do individually. In terms of intervention, also, we work on the leadership, team cohesion, interpersonal skills, and all that is necessary. Sometimes little details. We see an athlete that has almost no nails, and that can be an indicator of nervousness, and we'll work to, first of all, understand the reason of the nervousness and assist the athlete to find strategies to stop that behavior that is being damaging for his body and his nails. This is an example. There are others that can also be included in the performance profile in the evaluation, and goals can be established and strategies to help the athlete achieve this goal. In terms of, can you see the screen now?
No.
No? Okay.
Maybe restart it, or I don't know.
No, Christina, I think it's better. We do 5. Now I see.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. You could see?
No, only you at this moment. I don't know what you close, maybe, but at this moment I only see you and me.
Okay. What about now?
No.
No?
Maybe you need to share screen the same that you do before.
Okay, I'll try. I'll do my best. Is it working now?
Okay, yeah. And yes.
Okay, so I would like to challenge now the audience to take a look at this cartoon and for a couple seconds and share in the chat what do they see.
Christina, you need to select the slide that you want to show.
It's weird.
That's it. Okay.
It's so weird.
Do you see it now?
Yes, now everyone see.
Okay. So my question was, please take a look at this cartoon and share in the chat what these cartoons suggest to you. There are no right or wrong answers. There's just your answer. So please feel free to interact with us. Any comment, Tiago, so far? Because I don't have access to the chat.
No, at this moment, no.
No, okay. So I'm going to explain. What we see in the picture is one person with a stick cooking some meat. And,
Christina, sorry, Christina. We have a lady that put it's a man cave doing fire. It's only the comment that we have at this moment.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. And it's correct. He's using fire to cook. So he's using, one of them is using a tool, which is a stick, something simple. But the fact that he's using the stick is making sure that it doesn't get injured, it doesn't get burned. The other group has 3 individuals. They are using their hands and they are getting burned. And one of them is looking at the one that is using the stick. And the reason I picked this cartoon to share with you is that often in the consulting, we see people resistant to mental coaching because of some of the myths that's just for athletes with problems. And what happened is they first look at the ones that are getting mental coaching and they start seeing the benefits of in terms of performance, but also well-being. And little by little, they will start asking the other one that is using the stick, what are you doing? And they will join in eventually. And I would like to share with you a real story that happened with us. We were consulting, actually, we were asked to do consulting with twins, tennis players. And at the time, they traveled to Lisbon, and the mother wanted us to work with both. We did the intake, and we usually work only with the athletes and coaches that are motivated and open to do the work. Only like that we can have results. So after the intake, we noticed that one of the talented twins was open and ready to work in the mental training area, while the other one, which at the time was even more talented, was not open already. So what we did was we said, okay, we will work with your brother, and whenever you're ready, we are open to work with you, but it has to be you taking initiative. We started working with one of the brothers, and after 3 weeks of work, the second brother, the twin, came to our session and asked permission to join. And we were happy to have him there. And we asked, what made it so that you changed your mind? And he explained that he saw in his brother improvement in performance on court, but also in the relationship with the coach, with the mother, with friends. He saw different in his behavior also at home and the way he was taking care of his body.
Can I add something?
They would like to add something.
Because he was actually always losing the player that started working with us. Mm-hmm. He was losing against his brother. They play against each other. But then all of a sudden, the brother noticed that when they were playing tie breaks, he was actually getting close to beating him.
I hope you were able to hear Dave. So Dave was saying also that the brother that worked initially with us usually lost with the brother. And with the 3 weeks of mental training work, he started beating his brother as well. So often, and the reason I'm sharing this story is often teachers and coaches focus attention on the ones that are resistant and don't want to do. And actually, we do the opposite. We focus on the athletes and coaches and parents that are actually ready and open to work. And often what happens is by seeing the results in performance and the behavior of those individuals that are doing the mental training work, the other people around start joining on their own. And because they are motivated to do it, the work has a different result. A similar situation happened with a coach that saw our work and the impact of our work in terms of mental coaching and wanted us to work with his son. And what we did was exactly the same. We noticed that the athlete was not open to work, and we mentioned that we would be ready to work whenever they would show readiness. After 3 months, we were contacted, and then we were able to do good work. So my point sharing these examples is that coaches and athletes have to be open-minded and ready to work, be motivated, and for that it helps to have good knowledge, experience, and examples around that can illustrate the importance of mental training.
The slide stays the same. I see you change the slide. Right?
Yes. Okay.
Christina, we don't see the slides. Can you select the slide that you want people see?
Go out, back.
I can try again. Yes.
But you don't have to delete it all the way. You can just go back one page, one step, and then.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
You can see it?
Yes. Now the slide that I see, it's about questions and your contact.
Yes. So far, does anybody have the questions?
If they come up with questions later, because that happens sometimes, they can always go to the contact us, or they can contact Tiago, and we can deal with the questions tomorrow.
Okay. So no questions, we will move on. If there are questions, you can email us at the end of the presentation. So now, Tiago, in terms of mental coaching.
We don't have that slide now.
No?
No, it's the next one.
Do you have the slide?
I don't see any. It's so strange. I see what
select Christina, maybe it's better you select the slide, because the slide that we see, it's the questions and your contacts. Select the other one.
That's what you have? It's so strange. Can you get out?
Tiago is interesting, but this is the only one that allows me to select. So there's something, I don't know if it is because it's Mac, but it's not allowing me to show the other slides.
Okay, Christina, I have a suggestion. We have here 2-3 questions. Maybe you can answer these questions now. I think is a good idea. I will put in the screen the questions, and you answer.
Okay. So the question is training different for athletes in individual and team sports? Okay. Thank you for the question. I believe this question comes from Greek participants. Thank you very much. There are things that are different from teams and individual sports, and there are aspects that are the same. And the reason is a team is made of individuals, and therefore there are the two components. One extra ingredient in team sports is you can work team building, team cohesion, team more dynamics, and the communication, which individual sports don't have those components. But in terms of other aspects and areas of mental coaching, both individual and team sport athletes need confidence, concentration, routines. So the basic work is the same. There are just nuances in the team sports that have to be worked in a different manner.
I do want to address, of course, there's specialisms like soccer, basketball. I mean, there's all kinds of aspects. So when you're working with a person, like as an individual, if this a person is a coach that's asking, then you work towards a team cohesion, for example, if you work in a team sport. And then individually, you can do all the individual tactics that you would do in mental training as if the person is an individual athlete. But in the team sports, you can work, and you have a little bit more wiggle room because the team can support each other in the confidence, as opposed to individual sports. The confidence is solely rests on the shoulders of the individual athlete.
Tiago, were you able to hear Dave?
Yes, Christina, we're listening very well, Dave. Thanks for your answer, and thanks, Dave, for answer the question and complete the idea that Christina expressed. Now we have another question from Greece.
Yes. And the question is, what is the expected percentage of the performance improvement due to the mental training? This is an interesting question,
Nice.
very interesting. And what happens is that the improvement due to mental training depends greatly on the person that is doing the mental training, how systematic the training is done, and which strategies are implemented and how. And the interesting aspect of it is usually is recommended at least 12 sessions to get improvements that are consistent in time.
I can give an example if you want.
But sometimes happens that after 2 to 3 sessions, some athletes reach the desired goals. I can give you an example that while we were working with high performance tennis players, we were recommended to work with an equestrian jockey, a female. And we were supposed to work for 12 sessions and would be during training and competition at performance goals and well-being goals. And what happened was after 6 days, the athletes got their goals, achieved their goals in training, competition, and also life goals in terms of life skills.
It can happen.
And what happened was, after 6 days, I flew back to the Netherlands, and she went back to Great Britain, in competitions in Portugal, and we were all happy. So to answer your question, with some athletes, 12 sessions can be enough. Some 2, 3, 6, and some may need even more than 12. In terms of percentage, I cannot really give you a number for the improvement, but as great individual variability. Dave would like to add something.
Yeah, it's because when I started working with Victor Anescu, he had no previous training in mental training, and he had a ranking of 158, for example, in the world. He had been a top player before, but he had sunken in the ranking. When we started implementing the mental training and all the tools, we actually went to ranking 46 within 3 months. So it's not to say that we were the cause of that. I'm never going to say that, but there's not such a coincidence. When he started working on the mental aspects of his tennis game and also the off-court work that's important for your on-court confidence, it boosted the ranking. And I think Victor himself would attest to, he even wrote that in his preface in our book, that he felt immediately the differences in his game, and the rankings also showed it. So therefore, I cannot give you percentage, but with or without mental training, in the top usually is more visible because everything is intensified, because everybody is a great athlete. It usually is just dependent on the mental toughness and the mental ability to deal with pressures. So I hope that answers the questions a little bit. Not an answer in percentage, but I hope that this gives a little bit of an indication.
Thanks, Dave, and thanks, Christina. People in Greece are very active here, and we will have here another question from Greece.
What is it?
Wait.
I have the same question, Tiago.
Wait. Yes, sorry, it's the same question. I only see, okay, 2 questions. Okay, maybe we can do a 5 minutes of a pause, maybe,
Okay.
Christina?
Yes,
okay.
It's good.
Okay, 5
Thank
minutes.
you. 5 minutes.
Thank you.
You have to log in again. You're not admitted. You have to click the link. Get in. Yep.
I am now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There we go.
Okay.
But again, the slides don't
I
work.
cannot hear.
Your slides are still stuck on the, according to this, on the questions.
It's okay. Tiago, can you hear me? I'm not able to hear you. Hello, Tiago?
Sim, Cristina. Consegues
Can
ouvir?
you hear me? Now I can, yes. I was not able to hear you. Okay. So we are back. We can continue?
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. We had some time for the interaction. We usually find it helpful to have questions about topics that interest you and address. Should you have more questions, please share them, and Tiago will verbalize it to me. Otherwise, I can share also some examples of situations that we encountered and how we dealt with them.
And dealing with adversity, like
yes.
today.
Today has been an interesting day dealing with technological adversity, and we are doing what we can, and we are enjoying being here with you today. So, according to what I heard from Tiago, some of the athletes and coaches in the audience would like to hear some examples, and I have one about parenting. How sometimes parenting can have big impact and sometimes negative on the performance and well-being of the athletes. This situation occurred in Romania during a Train Like a Pro camp, in which kids were training. The first days of, so a 10-day camp, the first days of the camp was training in the different domains, technical, tactical, physical and mental, and the last days of the training were competition, so applying all the learning in a competition setting. And what we encountered was, during the training, we saw a parent near the fence continuously giving feedback to the athlete. The athlete was extremely under pressure, and we saw something we have never seen before in 20 years of our career. Sometimes we see players that cry after they lose the match, but in that situation, the player was crying every point he would lose, he would cry. And I found it extremely unbelievable. And I commented with the two coaches, this is not normal. One of the goals of sports is that athletes have fun, enjoy the sport, especially at young age, youth. And I explained this is not normal. And the coaches, one of them told me, no, for this player it's normal. He has been playing for many years and he always does this. And the parents are aware of it. And I said, yes, they are aware and it happens, but it's not normal. The child is supposed to enjoy playing. So I suggested we would have a conversation with the father and at the first initial stage that the coaches would talk with the father. And they said, oh, better not, because this person is a sponsor and influential, and I don't think it's going to be a good idea to speak. And I said, if you are not comfortable with it, let me have a chance to speak with the father and the mother of the child. So they approached the father and they said, Christina Rolo would like to speak with you about your child. And the first reaction of the father was, who is Christina Rolo? And the coaches explained, Christina Rolo is a certified mental coach with experience in mental training applied to tennis. And she would like to dialogue with you and your spouse about your child. And they agreed and we talked for 10 minutes. And I asked them, instead of being near the fence during the training, I asked them for half an hour, 1 hour, to go have a coffee and let us work with the player.
Because he was talking the whole time.
Because the father was constantly talking and interfering. And what happened was very interesting. For the 1 hour we did the training with the kid, we created strategies for him to only go to the line and serve when he would be ready. If he would be crying, he would have to go to the back court, facing like the back towards the opponent, and with a towel. And only when he would be composed, breathing, and ready, then he would go to the line. Sometimes he would go to the line and he would start crying again, so he would turn back and go back to the fence, and he would take as long as he would need. And the interesting thing was, after 1 hour of practicing this simple aspect of just being ready, he started, after losing a point, having a normal reaction. He was not crying after each single point. When the parents returned, it was interesting. The comments were, oh, interesting, he's losing points and he's not crying. And afterwards, the parents asked to talk with us. They thanked us for the fact that the kid was no longer having that emotional burst. And they acquired the book and they systematically implemented mental training from that day on. Within this conversation, I would like to also emphasize, Romania is a country with very good top players and very developed in terms of technical, tactical, and mental. And actually, technical, tactical, and physical. Mental was an area not very well developed or implemented. But now, in the Victor Ernesto Tennis Academy, after the Train Like a Pro camps, parents, coaches, and athletes were able to see and experience the benefits of the mental training, and they now implement weekly and systematically mental coaching. So we are very happy that even when we are no longer involved, we were able to plant seeds and be the catalyzer of the systematic mental training there. Within this story, I would like to share one more. So mental training is also good, not just for athletes and coaches, but in Romania, for instance, one of the Train Like a Pro cameraman that was doing the coverage of the training, interestingly, he started getting access to some of the strategies and he started implementing in his own profession and his competitions. He did a billiard competition, but also for his academic life. He wanted to do a doctorate. And he shared a couple months after that by implementing little strategies within the areas that we are going to cover more in the book, in the workshop tomorrow, and that are also included in the book. He was able to be successful in terms of reaching his goals. One of the goals was to win the competitions, which he did. One was to be accepted in a doctoral program that was very competitive, and he didn't believe at first it was possible, but by implementing certain mental training strategies and doing some strategic planning, goal setting, he was actually able to reach his goal. And with this in mind, I believe tomorrow is going to be an interesting day for all the participants because we are going to make it more meaningful and towards your needs. And for that, I would like to ask your input. Meaning, I think they want to say something.
I want to say something because your two examples are really nice. One is a problem focused, and the other one was something was already working well. You know, he was a good billiard player and he was an excellent professional on camera work. So he went from good to excellent. So it's nice that you have two different examples from problem focused, and other one was enhancement, performance enhancement.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dave. We have another question, I believe, from Greece. And the question is, would you propose mental training for athletes in their very young age? First steps in sports? Yes. Okay. Yes, definitely. We can share with you that we have two children, 11 and 13, and since early age they have been exposed to our methodology.
And our clients.
And what's interesting to see is that not just in sports, but in life in general, when people interact with them, and Tiago had that opportunity, they see that they are more mature, more resilient, more autonomous, and related to the question itself, at young age, they can benefit. The difference is the way we approach it is different. It's much more based on fun. It's simple. We use images, we use analogies. It's just a different approach, but they can certainly benefit
tomorrow
with mental coaches.
More on the methodology.
Yes, tomorrow Dave is explaining. We are going to give specific examples how to develop the mental skills. And for that, I would like to ask you something. Based on these areas that I'm going to mention, or even others, I would like you to send an email to info@rollmentalcoaching.com or write on the chat, what are some of the current challenges that you are facing as an athlete, a coach, a parent, due to the pandemic or other reasons. So based on your input, tomorrow we will create the presentation to address your needs.
Well, not the whole presentation, but we will devote
some
time
part
to
of
it.
The presentation, of course, like Dave is explaining. So, any other question, Tiago?
No, Cristina, at this moment, no. Cristina, I think that maybe can people that see what you explain, we can finish for today this training. Maybe is better, and tomorrow we will return for the second day, and we will, you and Dave will speak about this challenge that you already do to people, to share difficulties that have in day by day. I don't know what is your opinion, but I think is the best.
Okay, if you believe is the right thing to do, I trust your judgment. So I would like to thank all the audience and you, Tiago Dalupe and Felipe Beja, and all the sponsors and organizers. I wish you a good night rest, and we will look forward to receive your input for the areas of tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you.